Consumer Report says do not buy it. J.D. Power says it is below average. Your local mechanic says you are rolling the dice. And yet, the owners of these trucks are giving them perfect 5-star reviews, and they say they would buy the same truck all over again. There are 12 trucks sitting on dealer lots right now that the so-called experts tell you to avoid. But the people actually driving them every day completely disagree. A few of these are going to surprise you because one of them just had 600,000 units recalled for engine failure, and owners are still defending it online like it is a family member. Let's get into it. Number 12. From 2023 to 2025, Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyon. We start with the GM twins because these two are a perfect example of how a truck can score poorly on paper and still win over the people buying them. Consumer Reports flagged the Colorado and Canyon for below-average reliability, specifically calling out problems with electrical accessories, body hardware, and paint and trim quality. If you read those trouble spots, it sounds like a truck that's falling apart. But the actual owner experience tells a completely different story. The Chevy Colorado won Edmunds' top-rated truck for 2024. J.D. Power ranked it well for overall vehicle appeal. And on owner review sites, people consistently rate it above 4 stars out of 5. The reason comes down to what the reliability studies are actually measuring versus what owners care about. A flickering interior light or a trim piece that rattles at highway speed will tank a Consumer Reports reliability score. But the engine, the transmission, the core bones of the truck, those are holding up fine for the vast majority of owners. If you're looking at a Colorado or Canyon and the Consumer Reports score scares you, dig into what the actual problem categories are before you walk away. Because a truck with cosmetic complaints and solid mechanicals is a very different proposition than a truck with engine or transmission problems. The Colorado's 2.7-liter turbo 4-cylinder has been relatively solid, and the ZR2 off-road variant has built a loyal following that rivals what Toyota has with the Tacoma TRD Pro. However, the next truck on this list makes the Colorado's reliability gap look small. Number 11. 2022 to 2025 Hyundai Santa Cruz. The Santa Cruz is the weirdest truck on this list because many people still are not sure if it is even a truck. But the people who bought one absolutely love it. Consumer Reports reliability ratings for the Santa Cruz have been rough. The 2022 model had documented issues with the dual-clutch transmission, and the 2022 and 2023 models dealt with fuel injector corrosion that required dealer intervention. On paper, this truck looks like a headache. But here's where it gets interesting. In Consumer Reports' own owner satisfaction surveys, Santa Cruz owners score it well above average. They would buy it again. They recommend it to friends. People on EdmundsandCars.com consistently give it 4 to 4.5 stars. So you have the same publication saying it is unreliable and that owners love it, which really tells you everything about the gap between measured defects and lived experience. The owners who love the Santa Cruz love it because there is nothing else like it. It is a unibody pickup that drives like a sedan, fits in a normal parking space, and looks like nothing else on the road. When your truck fills a niche that literally nobody else does, owners tend to forgive the rough edges. The 2024 and 2025 models have improved significantly on the early reliability issues, and Hyundai's 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty gives buyers a safety net that most truck competitors simply do not match. If you can get past the unconventional look and the first-year growing pains, the Santa Cruz might be one of the smartest used truck buys in this segment. Number 10. The 2024 to 2025 Toyota Tacoma. This one is going to catch some people off guard because Toyota lives on its reliability reputation. But the redesigned 2024 Tacoma had a rough first year. Consumer Reports initially rated the new Tacoma's reliability below average. That's significant because the previous generation Tacoma was one of the most reliable trucks you could buy, and Toyota buyers expect that. The new iForce 2.4-liter turbo 4-cylinder was a major departure from the old naturally aspirated V6, and first-year teething problems are pretty standard with any new powertrain. But Toyota's name still carries weight for a reason. The Tacoma remains the best-selling midsize truck in America by a wide margin. Owner loyalty is borderline fanatical. People on the forums will tell you that first-year issues get sorted out through technical service bulletins and software updates, and historically, that has been true with Toyota. The resale value on Tacomas is still the best in the midsize segment, which means even the used market agrees with the owners over the critics. The forums are full of 2024 Tacoma owners saying the same thing. Yeah, I had a minor issue early on. Yeah, the dealer handled it. No, I would not trade it for anything else in the segment. That's the Toyota effect. Decades of building trucks that refuse to die creates a trust account that one rough model year cannot drain overnight. If you are thinking about a 2024 Tacoma, the early reliability data looks rough. But if history is any guide, the 2025 and 2026 models will have most of those issues ironed out. And the used market already reflects that confidence because used Tacoma prices have not budged despite the Consumer Reports scores. Number 9, 2024 to 2025 GMC Sierra 1500. The Sierra shares basically all of its mechanical DNA with the Silverado, which means it carries the same reliability baggage. Consumer Reports rates it below average, and the brand-level J.D. Power data for GM trucks is not exactly inspiring. The V8 engines, specifically the 5.3-liter and 6.2-liter with dynamic fuel management, have been plagued by lifter failures going back to 2019. The cylinder deactivation system causes premature wear on the lifters, and the repair bill can run $4,000 to $6,000 if it happens outside of warranty. It is a well-documented problem that GM has never fully resolved. So why do Sierra owners love their trucks? 2 words: Denali trim. The Sierra Denali has a cabin that genuinely rivals luxury SUVs. The Multi-Pro tailgate is one of the most innovative features in the truck market. Owners who buy at the Denali level tend to focus on the ownership experience, the comfort, the technology, and the way the truck makes them feel, rather than obsessing over reliability scores. On Kelley Blue Book, 79% of Sierra owners give it 5 out of 5 stars. The Sierra is a truck where the ownership experience is genuinely excellent, even though the mechanical track record has question marks. That is a trade-off that only you can decide is worth it. Number 8, from 2022 to 2025, Jeep Gladiator. The Gladiator is the truck that shouldn't work on paper, but absolutely does in practice for the people who buy it. Consumer Reports gives it below average reliability. IHS safety scores have been disappointing. The ride quality on pavement is rough compared to basically any other mid-size truck. Fuel economy is terrible, and J.D. Power's dependability studies consistently rank Jeep near the bottom. None of that matters to Gladiator owners. On Kelley Blue Book, 93% of 2024 Gladiator owners recommend it, and 79% give it a full 5 stars. The resale value is among the strongest of any mid-size truck, holding about 72% of its value at 48 months. People pay more for used Gladiators than they pay for most competitors when they are new. The reason is simple. The Gladiator does something no other truck does. It is the only production pickup where you can remove the doors, fold down the windshield, take off the top and go crawling over rocks on a Saturday, then load up lumber from Home Depot on Sunday. It is a lifestyle vehicle, and the people who buy into that lifestyle are not going back to a Tacoma because Consumer Reports told them to. But this next truck takes the gap between ratings and reality even further. Number 7. 2022 to 2025 Nissan Frontier. The Frontier might be the most underrated truck on this entire list. Edmunds expert reviewers gave it 5.6 out of 10, which is borderline insulting for a vehicle that actual owners consistently rate above 4.5 stars. Consumer Reports flags it for below average reliability, and critics regularly dock it for having an interior that feels a generation behind the Colorado, Tacoma, and Ranger. Fair enough. The cabin is not luxurious. The infotainment could use work. But here's what the Frontier has going for it that almost nobody talks about. The 3.8-liter V6 making 310 horsepower is naturally aspirated. No turbo, no supercharger, no hybrid system, no dual clutch transmission. Just a conventional V6 paired with a 9-speed automatic. RepairPal ranks the Frontier second out of 8 mid-sized trucks for overall reliability, and average annual repair costs come in well below the segment average. Frontier owners on the forums will tell you the same thing over and over. It is a simple truck that does truck things without the complexity tax. While everyone else is dealing with turbocharged 4-cylinder engines, cylinder deactivation systems, and first-generation hybrid powertrains, Frontier owners are just driving their trucks. There is real value in that, and the owner satisfaction scores prove it. Number 6, the Ford Maverick, from 2022 to 2025. The Maverick might be the most fascinating contradiction in the entire truck market right now. In 2022, the model year had 26 NHTSA recalls. That is an extraordinary number for any vehicle, let alone a compact truck in its first year of production. The 2023 model followed with 19 recalls. Electrical system issues, brake problems, powertrain concerns. The recall list reads like a horror story, and yet Consumer Reports named the Maverick a top pick for 3 consecutive years. Car and Driver gave it a 9.5 out of 10. The 2022 Maverick averages 4.5 stars on Edmunds across nearly 100 owner reviews. Ford sold over 131,000 Mavericks in 2024 alone, a 39% increase over the prior year. How does a truck with 26 recalls become one of the best reviewed vehicles on the market? Because the recalls were predominantly software-related fixes that dealers handled quickly, and the day-to-day ownership experience is exceptional. The hybrid model delivers 42 miles per gallon in the city, which is unheard of for a truck. The starting price undercuts everything in the segment, and for people who need a truck bed but do not need to tow 10,000 pounds, the Maverick fills a gap that the industry ignored for 20 years. Owners do not care about recall counts when the fixes are painless and the truck does exactly what they bought it to do. Number 5. 2024 to 2025 Ford F-150 Power Boost. Ford's hybrid F-150 has a reliability problem, and Consumer Reports is not shy about it. They give the Power Boost a 1 out of 5 predicted reliability score, which is the worst rating they assign. That is significantly worse than the non-hybrid F-150 models, meaning the hybrid system itself is the weak link. But Ford sold over 20,000 Power Boost units in the third quarter of 2024 alone, and owners who have them are vocal about how much they love the truck. The reason comes down to one feature: PRO Power Onboard. That is the built-in generator system that turns the truck bed into a mobile power station, outputting up to 7.2 kilowatts. Contractors run power tools off it at job sites. Tailgaters power entire setups. People who camp or go off-grid use it instead of carrying a separate generator. When a single feature fundamentally changes how you use a vehicle, reliability concerns take a back seat. Power Boost owners did not buy a hybrid to save gas. They bought a truck that replaced $3,000 worth of portable generators, and it also happens to get better fuel economy than the standard V8. The trade-off is a more complex powertrain with a shorter track record, and that is a bet a lot of buyers are willing to make. Number 4, 2025 Ram 1500. Ram is going through a massive transition right now, and the reliability data reflects it. The 5.7-liter Hemi Vibe 8 that defined the brand for years is gone, replaced by the 3.0-liter Hurricane Twin Turbo Inline 6. Consumer Reports flagged the new powertrain with reliability concerns. And at the brand level, J.D. Power's 2025 Vehicle Dependability Study scored Ram trucks at 242 problems per 100 vehicles, well above the industry average of 202. Edmunds ranks the 2025 Ram 1500 as the top-rated full-size truck on the market. Owners consistently rave about two things: the interior, which has been the best in the full-size truck segment for years now, and the ride quality. Ram's multi-link coil spring rear suspension delivers a ride that feels more like a luxury sedan than a work truck, and no competitor has matched it. So you have one data source saying the brand has above-average problems, and another saying it is literally the best full-size truck you can buy. Owners side with the latter. They are buying the Ram for how it drives and how it feels every day, and they are willing to accept the question marks around a first-year engine to get it. Here is the smart play if you are considering a Ram. The outgoing Hemi-powered 2024 models are sitting on lots with significant incentives right now, and that V8 has a much longer track record. You get the same best-in-class interior and ride quality without betting on an unproven powertrain. That is the kind of move that the reliability data and the owner satisfaction data both support. Number 3. From 2022 to 2024, the Silverado 1500. This is the 600,000 unit recall truck I mentioned in the intro, and the data on the Silverado is genuinely wild. In early 2025, General Motors issued a recall covering 597,630 Silverado and Sierra trucks equipped with the 6.2-liter V8. The problem was manufacturing defects in the connecting rod and crankshaft that could cause catastrophic engine failure. That is on top of the well-documented lifter failure issue affecting both the 5.3-liter and 6.2-liter V8 engines with dynamic fuel management, where repair costs regularly hit $4,000 to $6,000. Consumer Reports rates the Silverado below average for reliability. By the numbers, this truck should appear on every list to avoid in the industry. But Silverado owners are among the most loyal buyers in the truck market. People who have the 5.3-liter without dynamic fuel management issues or the 2.7-liter turbo 4-cylinder report excellent ownership experiences. The truck drives well, the features are solid, and the General Motors truck platform is fundamentally competitive. The problem is not the truck. It is specific engine configurations with manufacturing and engineering defects. If you know which powertrains to target and which to avoid, the Silverado can be an excellent buy. And that kind of nuance is exactly what gets lost in a blanket reliability score. Number 2, 2022 to 2024 Toyota Tundra. Toyota recalled every gasoline-powered Tundra from the 2022 and 2023 model years because machining debris left in the engine block during manufacturing was causing the V35A engines to self-destruct. That was not a software fix or a sensor replacement. Toyota had to replace entire engines. On top of that, the Tundra has accumulated over 12 recalls from 2022 through 2024 model years. Consumer Reports ranked it the least reliable full-size truck. Read that back. A Toyota truck. Dead last in full-size reliability. That is the kind of sentence that would have gotten you laughed out of a room 5 years ago. But J.D. Power still gives the Tundra an 82 out of 100 quality and reliability score, and owner reviews across Edmunds and Cars.com hover around 4 to 4.5 stars. Tundra owners point to the iForce Max hybrid powertrain as a genuine differentiator, delivering 437 horsepower with better fuel economy than the competition's V8 engines. And the previous generation Tundra built decades of goodwill with owners who drove them past 300,000 miles without major issues. That kind of brand equity does not evaporate overnight, even when the data says it should. The Tundra is a case where the manufacturer's reputation is still outrunning the current product's reliability record. Whether that gap closes in Toyota's favor or catches up to them is something we will be watching closely. Number 1. The Tesla Cybertruck. This is the truck that generates more arguments than any other vehicle on the road right now. Consumer Reports gives the Cybertruck a 2 out of 5 predicted reliability score. Owner complaints about panel gaps, body panels detaching, and build quality issues have been documented extensively since launch. Multiple recalls have been issued. The stainless steel body is prone to surface staining. The starting price is well above $80,000, so the cost of entry is steep even by full-size truck standards. By every conventional metric, the Cybertruck should be on a list of trucks to avoid. But the Cybertruck has a cult following that rivals anything in the automotive industry. Owners who love it don't just love it, they evangelize it. The acceleration, the technology, the sheer novelty of driving something that looks like it belongs in a different decade. On owner review platforms, ratings are polarized but passionate, with far more 5-star reviews than you would expect from a vehicle with this many documented issues. The Cybertruck represents the most extreme version of what this entire list is about. When a vehicle delivers an emotional experience that transcends its reliability data, the scores stop mattering. Whether you think that is irrational or whether you think it reveals a flaw in how we measure vehicles is really the bigger question this list is asking.